Brought to you by Penguin.
Eric by Terry Pratchett. Read by Colin Morgan, with Bill Nighy and Peter Serafinowicz. The bees of death are big and black. They buzz low and sombre. They keep their honey in combs of wax as white as altar candles. The honey is black as night, thick as sin, and sweet as treacle. It is well known that 8 colours make up white, but there are also 8 colours of blackness, for those that have the seeing of them, and the hives of death are among the black grass in the black orchard under the black-blossomed ancient boughs of trees that will eventually produce apples that, put it like this, probably won't be red. The grass was short now. The scythe that had done the work leaned against the gnarled bole of a pear tree. Now Death was inspecting his bees, gently lifting the combs in his skeletal fingers. A few bees buzzed around him. Like all beekeepers, Death wore a veil. It wasn't that he had anything to sting, but sometimes a bee would get inside his skull and buzz around and give him a headache. As he held a comb up to the grey light of his little world between the realities, there was the faintest of tremors. A hum went up from the hive. A leaf floated down. A wisp of wind blew for a moment through the orchard, and that was the most uncanny thing, because the air in the land of death is always warm and still. Death fancied that he heard, very briefly, the sound of running feet and a voice saying, "No!" A voice thinking, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit! I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die!" Death is almost the oldest creature in the universe, with habits and modes of thought that mortal man cannot begin to understand, but because he was also a good beekeeper, he carefully replaced the comb in its rack and put the lid on the hive before reacting. He strode back through the dark garden to his cottage, removed the veil, carefully dislodged a few bees who had got lost in the depth of his cranium, and retired to his study. As he sat down at his desk, there was another rush of wind, which rattled the hourglasses on the shelves and made the big pendulum clock in the hall pause ever so briefly in its interminable task of slicing time into manageable bits. Death sighed and focused his gaze. There is nowhere Death will not go, no matter how distant and dangerous. In fact, the more dangerous it is, the more likely he is to be there already. Now he stared through the mists of time and space.
"Oh,"
he said.
"It's him."
It was a hot afternoon in late summer in Ankh-Morpork, normally the most thriving, bustling, and above all, the most crowded city on the disk. Now the spears of the sun had achieved what innumerable invaders, several civil wars, and the curfew law had never achieved. It had pacified the place. Dogs lay panting in the scalding shade. The river Ankh, which never, what you might call, sparkled, oozed between its banks, as if the heat had sucked all the spirit out of it. The streets were empty, oven brick hot. No enemies had...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?